Hey, what's up guys, Rampedi here. We're back with another show. Tell me, do Orlando Pirates rely too much on Saleng? Did Kaizer Chiefs grasp the opportunity? And Mamelodi Sundowns? Gotta talk about them. Let's go.
That's how it goes?
They keep asking about the best when they know it's me.
Okay.
Asking about the rest when they know it's me.
Straight in, I guess.
You know it's me.
Let's start with a performance that I didn't like. Orlando Pirates' victory over Venda Football Academy. They won, yes, but I was not a fan of the performance from the Buccaneers. They started really well, started really strong. You know, they were imposing the fact that they are the team in the top division. And they get the goal they needed. Kermit Rasmus puts them ahead. He needed that goal, you know. His confidence was a bit low, and you could even see with the celebration that he did. He definitely needed that goal. The part that I was very disappointed in is after the goal. Now the Orlando Pirates, just after they scored, you sort of wonder, what are they going to do next? I thought they were complacent. I thought they dropped tempo. They weren't sharp. They created chances, yes, but they were not sharp in front of goal in the way that they were before the goal came in. Could have they scored more? Most definitely. But it almost felt as if like Pirates knew they were playing a team that was not in the same division. And that allowed Venda to come back in. It allowed for them to get this confidence to press Orlando Pirates, suddenly get into their side, even forcing Orlando Pirates to make a mistake, which John Hotto did. Making a mistake, playing at wing back, caused a lot of noise, the fact that he played in that position. And the roles reversed now. Venda finding themselves having to sit back and letting Orlando Pirates come onto them. But they knew that they had already made a mistake leading up to Erasmus's goal. So Venda were trying their best to get this game through to extra time, through to the penalties as well. So they got to extra time, but unfortunately a moment of magic from Thembinkosi Lodge finds the second goal, wins the game for Orlando Pirates. And if we're being honest, Orlando Pirates, you were lucky. I mean, you were lucky, man. You were lucky. I say you were lucky because at penalty shootouts, you guys are not so great. Recently as well, you've lost cups. I remember the Telkom knockout final, you lost. I remember the CAF Confederations Cup recently, you lost due to penalties. So if it went all the way to penalties, Venda could have done something. They could have eliminated a giant, that's for sure. Slight concern for Orlando Pirates this season for me. Top goal scorers, have a look at that list. Saleng is far ahead, he's got 12 goals. And next in line, Jukumanja, he's got 3 goals, and Kermit Rasmus 3 goals. And after that, you've got Thembinkosi Lodge, who just recently came back and already finds himself as the 3rd highest goal scorer at Orlando Pirates this season. Are Orlando Pirates relying too much on Saleng to do something within the game? If he doesn't do it, will anyone else do it? Yes, of course, Kermit Rasmus scored, but Kermit Rasmus hasn't scored enough. You know, Pule hasn't scored enough. Hotto's played so many minutes this season, and he only has 2 goals. Two. Compared to Monapule Saleng's 12 goals. So you sort of wonder if Thembinkosi Lodge doesn't come up with that brilliance towards the end, having to chip the goalkeeper. Who else can do it? Which other player at Pirates could have done it? And Jonjo as well. He only has 2 goals. So you look at this side and you say, okay, things are great and everything, but I just feel everybody else outside of Saleng is not contributing enough. And Thembinkosi Lodge just came back and already he was pivotal in getting them to this round, and now he's gotten them to the quarterfinals as well. So is it too much of a reliance on the star players to do something? And I really do feel that other players need to take the opportunities. But other than that, congratulations Orlando Pirates, but can the others just contribute? Kaizer Chiefs are through to the next round of the Nedbank Cup. They beat Kaizer Stars 2-1. Yay! Kaizer Chiefs are through, right? Even though this game had 3 goals, in all honesty, it was hard to watch. It was so hard to watch because I feel like both teams, they didn't grab the opportunity that was presented to them. So let's talk about Kaizer Stars, right? So Stars, here's your opportunity. You're facing one of the biggest sides in South Africa. It's going to be on TV. It's your moment to impress. You're in the top 5 of the Multiple Championship. So I mean, people are watching. You could be a giant killer to Kaizer Chiefs. How do you think Baraka became famous from this tournament? How do you think Tux became famous from this tournament? So this could be you. They offered nothing. Nothing. The whole game, they showed they were scared of Kaizer Chiefs. Absolutely scared. So that's the part that they didn't grab the opportunity. Kaizer Chiefs, where did they not grab the opportunity within the game? It's the fact that they created so many chances. But once Caleb scores the penalty, it seemed like they were not interested in scoring more. They were not interested in scoring more. And I'm just like, I'm watching this game thinking to myself, guys, read the room, guys. Like, read the room. I mean, there's a difference between beating this side 2-1 versus beating them 7-0. And there's lots that come with that. It gives confidence to the team. You know, it gives confidence to the fans. And they want to see goals. But I'm seeing Kaizer Chiefs is not, I mean, Lewana, they're not going more forward. They're not being as clinical. And only after, when Kaizer Stars scores the equalizer, suddenly you see that Kaizer Chiefs that is very intense in going forward. And they get the goal to make it 2-1. And you think to yourself, like, where was that throughout the 90 minutes? They didn't even control the game. I don't think they controlled it enough, in my opinion. But you know what I think Kaizer Chiefs are thinking too much about? Look over there. No trophies in almost 8 years. So 2015, nothing. 2016, nothing. 2017, nothing. 2020, nothing. And now we at season 2022, 2023. This could be the opportunity. And maybe you find a side that is so nervous going into these cup games because they don't want to throw it away, especially considering what happened in the MTN8 with AmaZulu, because I felt like they threw away that opportunity. Now I understand that this was the tie. You could have scored goals, but you missed out on it. Now you have to ask yourself the question, is it brilliant football that you want, or is it the trophy that you want? But if you're going to play this type of football, Mangete, you have to make sure you bring the trophy home. Because with every step within this competition, it's going to get a lot harder. It is. It's going to get a lot harder. And if you want this trophy, the side has to be more clinical because, okay, we've seen them create chances, but they have to put them away, especially when you draw these sides. So they threw. Congratulations to them. Just please be more clinical. Looks like we've got giant killers this season in the Nedbank Cup. Before in the past, we had Black Leopards, we had Tux, we had Baraka, and we had TS Galaxy. This season, we've got Dondol Stars. They knocked out AmaZulu this past weekend. Look at these results, right? 2-1, they won against SuperSport United. 1-0 against AmaZulu, 1 on penalties. Would you believe me if I told you that in both games, this side came from behind? So SuperSport took the lead, and they still managed to get over them. AmaZulu took the lead, and they were still able to get over them. They create chances. And one thing I like that I wish Kaizer Stars had is that they go into games knowing that they are the underdog. So they play freely. They create chances. That's what they do. And that's the one advantage that they have, is that no matter who they play in the competition, because they're in the third tier, they're not even the second tier. They're in the third tier, they're in the Motsepa League. They're down there. So whoever they draw from now on is, everybody expects them to lose. They don't expect them to do anything more. And with that, they can play with that element of, okay, no one believes in us, we believe in ourselves. And they enjoy the occasion. That's the most important thing. And I want to give a shout out to them, Dondol Stars. I want to give a shout out to them because this could change lives for them. We've seen this tournament do wonders for players. Andle Jali, we've seen it. Boyende, we saw it. The moment they performed well within this tournament, their lives changed. And for you guys, before you know it, with all these brilliant performances that you're putting in, you might find yourselves playing in the top division. Let's have a look at the remaining Nedbank Cup results from the last 16. Sekhukhune knocking out Cape Town Spurs. I just thought the occasion was too big for Cape Town Spurs. You could just see that. But now they can just go focus on promotion. And that's for Sekhukhune United. I mean, watch out for them. Watch out for them. They don't concede. They score a lot. And yes, the draw They were lucky with some of the draws that they have had, but they've scored goals. Next one, the KZN Derby. Royal AM beating Arrows 3-1. I mean, what a game it was. Very open. Mamkiza will want to make history, that's for sure. Arrows go secure that league status. That's the most important thing. Chipa United, Penny Defenders beating them 2-0. It was expected, and it was the first victory for Ket Linkies as well. I think he will be able to try get some confidence into these boys, especially considering the run that they've been on within the league. And then you've got TS Galaxy 3, Stellenbosch 6. You heard that right. A PSL game with 9 goals in it. Poor defending from TS Galaxy. Of course, the referee could have done a lot better, but I think the off-field reports that's going on at that club could be affecting the players on the pitch, and that's for Stellies. Same thing I said about Dondol Stars. No one expects you to win this tournament. I think just go there and run, pace, and score goals. Now, moving on to the quarterfinal draw for the Nedbank Cup. Yep, took place last night. Have a look at that. I mean, the first thing that hits me is the big three separated. They're not meeting each other. Not yet, right? They could meet, they could not. Who knows? Dondol Stars goes up against Orlando Pirates. I mean, what a tie for Stars. You know, this team just always has this belief. And again, no one is going to expect them to beat Orlando Pirates. I only hope that they do not get starstruck when they have to play Orlando Pirates in the way that Kaizer Stars was with Kaizer Chiefs. Pressure will definitely be on Orlando Pirates because they have to win. It's Dondol Stars. You can't get beat by a third division side. Stellenbosch going up against Mamelodi Sundowns. You know, the style of Stellenbosch, it's a bit awkward. You know, the pace that they play with, the transition that they play with. They even got a draw recently with Mamelodi Sundowns. So they know each other. They know each other. And I know Mamelodi Sundowns don't like playing too much of Stellenbosch just because of the pace that they have. Royal AM against Kaizer Chiefs, revenge. Royal AM revenge will be on their mind, especially considering that first league loss that they had to Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs, this is the game now. I feel like this is the game. If you don't take your chances, elimination could happen. So it's a game that they have to take their chances. And the last one, Chipa United against Sekhukhune, it'll be close. I think it'll be close. Sekhukhune are definitely favorites to win. Chipa could get some luck within the game, but I think Sekhukhune will go through. Things are definitely going to get heated. And one thing I can't help is I have a feeling there will be tears. Saving the best story for last, CAF Champions League. Mamelodi Sundowns 5, Al Ahly 2. What a performance from Masanda Wana. They through to the quarterfinals. I mean, that performance, they were so dominant. Like they were just way too dominant. And you could just see that the altitude was affecting Al Ahly. The heat was affecting Al Ahly. And when you watch Al Ahly's games, they're always playing in the evening. Now they have to play with the scorching heat. And I'm looking to see what is Mamelodi Sundowns going to do. That game got me so emotional. Emotional why, Shakes? Because over the years, you could just see this was a body of work that they've put together. Mamelodi Sundowns set out to be competitive with Africa's best, and which is what they're doing. And they're gaining that respect too. You could tell like teams are starting to fear them. You see even the approach Al Ahly took within that game. They were too scared of Mamelodi Sundowns. And they're flying the flag high for South Africa. And when you see players that are coming in with that confidence, bombing down the left-hand side, putting pressure on the wing-backs of Al Ahly, scoring goals. I mean, even when they scored the third one, you thought, okay, Sundowns, enough now. It's 3-1. You know, you don't need to go in anymore now. They wanted to go get 4. They wanted to go get 5. And you thinking to yourself, would you have ever been alive to see a time where South African side dominates a North African side like that? You know, I mentioned Pitso's money in my post, and a lot of people were not happy. But the reason why I mentioned him was because he was part of the start of all of this. The fights that he had whenever he was playing these sides within Africa, he was part of it. And that's why I was sending a shout out to him, the chairman. And there's also one group that I forgot to send a shout out to that deserve it as former players. Mabunda, Kekana, Mudise. You guys all deserve that respect. And you could just see it's just something that they've worked on over time. It didn't just come over yesterday, just like that. They've put 5 past Al Ahly for the second time. How does the group look? There you go. Sundowns, 10. Al Hilal, 9 points. And Al Ahly could be knocked out, guys. I mean, that's how that result that they got over the weekend against Mamelodi Sundowns could hurt them. They have to win their remaining 2 games. And I did also say in the previous shows that they only needed 10. Only 10 points. Now they've got it, they've qualified, sorted out. There's one player that I want to touch on. The player who missed out on the Bafana squad, the pre-squad, before the final squad. Mayema. I couldn't believe it that he was not part of the squad. You know, he's been so crucial to Mamelodi Sundowns this season. And what's been more crucial to him, I've mentioned it before, is the fact that he has to play so many different positions that it affects his numbers. So usually in modern time, we like to say, how many assists did this guy get? How many goals did this guy get? He doesn't get a lot of those because the roles that he's playing, he's not meant to get those numbers like that. But he got an assist over the weekend, and he's able to make the team gel. That's his most important thing, that he's able to make the team tick as well. I don't like to interfere with Hugo Bruce. I don't like to interfere with the Bafana coach's job and what he needs to do, but that call-up for me should have happened. And I saw people saying on social media, how must he call up all Sundowns players now? For me, when it comes to the national team, it's not about being emotional. There's no time to be emotional, guys. We haven't qualified for a minute. We haven't done anything with Bafana for a minute. So for me, it's all about merit. And if merit says, if Sundowns have 30 players and you call 27 of them, because on merit, they've been the best players so far this season, then you call them up. That's for me. I don't look at it as if like it's Chiefs players or it's Barocas players or it's Orlando Pirates players. Whoever's doing well in that particular position, call them up. And this team is currently 20-something points ahead of everybody else. They put a performance like that against Al Ahly. So the stats will tell you, call them up. There's no time to be emotional. But for him, the kid, Mayema, Billy, keep working hard. We see you. We appreciate you. And as for Mamelodi Sundowns, we just have to wait to see what they do at the quarters. But that performance, man, it's just screaming. Rulani, the boys, go make history. Go do it again. Go win it again. I think you guys can. I really believe you guys can. Competition is there, but I think you can win it again. Royal AM tonight. I expect Rulani to rotate, but I do expect Mamelodi Sundowns to still win. It's time for our weekly bet of the week. The purpose of this segment is to show you my bet slip in hopes that it helps yours light and green. The more accurate, the more cash you get. Let's get into it. There's a lot of football that's happening this week. Championship, Premier League, and as well as the Champions League, UEFA Champions League. My bet slip only consists of the UEFA Champions League and as well as Premier League. 5 games. First one, FC Porto against Inter, over 1.5. Brighton against Palace, over 1.5. Manchester City against Leipzig, over 2.5. And Napoli against Frankfurt, over 2.5. And last but not least, Real Madrid against Liverpool, over 2.5. My odds, 7.07. $500 turns into 3.8 thousand rands. I think it's going to be a good week, and I definitely see a lot of goals. That is Bet of the Week, sponsored by Betway. Remember to practice responsible betting at betway.co.za. Until the next one, all the best. We've come to the end of the show. Guys, we've got DSTV Premiership action. Mamelodi Sundowns versus Royal AM. It's about to kick off. I need to go. But before I do, don't forget to like and subscribe. And hit that notification bell so you're notified for future episodes.